Once again, we are looking at a box, but look at this box. Look at the damage, the hardship, the struggle evident in every line, feature, and fiber of this box. Its tape has been burst, its sides have been crushed, its corners have been dented, and it has even been soaked with some sort of liquid during its travels. And speaking of travels, this box crossed the Pacific twice in its effort to reach me. That's right, it made it all the way to Japan from the United States, and then went back to the United States, and then went back to Japan before finally being able to make the last leg of the trip to the Korean Peninsula. And for no reason that I can discern. It was correctly addressed, it had the correct postage and everything else. It just was misdirected by the people to whom it was entrusted to make the journey. So, you may be wondering, what, is this a video about a box? No, this is a video about the contents of the box, but I find that the box is serving as a fantastic metaphor for the Kickstarter campaign for which these are the rewards. Long-term viewers of the channel and readers of the blog know that I have been a supporter of Kickstarters from Impact Miniatures for their dice program from the beginning. I like dice, and I really like the innovation of dice, and I really like dice that come in a very, very thick Ziploc bag, before I forget. So whatever that liquid was, it was never able to reach the dice. And despite all the impact and injury, the air pillow is still in great shape. Anyway, let's get rid of this box. I was saying the box is serving as a metaphor for the struggles of the campaign, because I have not really seen many campaigns that have hit this many snags completely outside of the creator's control. And I am slightly in awe of Tom at Impact Miniatures for being able to find his way around all the impacts, all the adversity, all of the challenges that came his way during the course of fulfilling this Kickstarter. And what was this Kickstarter for? Well, you're looking at it. There are D36s to further expand the ever-increasing range of dice available for your standard polyhedrals. But if you look closely, you'll see that there are dots, and the dots represent 2d6. So you can roll it as a d36, or you can roll it to replace a 2d6 roll, which is kind of cool. These are d21s. That's right. I think this will be my second favorite odd size dice. I'm also very fond of the d11s. These are fudge dice. Don't let anyone tell you different. Using a pulse graphic. So we have a flat line, and we have the pulse, and we have blanks. So I've got them in black and green, of course, because I like black dice. I'm very, very partial to the orange paint on the purple ones. But I think the best of the three colors that I have has to go to the glow-in-the-dark. That's stellar. That reminds me of an EKG monitor. So, glow-in-the-dark, we have to show them in the dark. This is not full dark. I have a room light going in the corner. They charged for 3 minutes. It's been 3 minutes since I opened the box. And this is the amount that they're able to glow under dim light, which is really impressive. This is an excellent glow-in-the-dark material. You can see that there's reflections in the glass surface of the table, and you can see that they're casting enough light to reflect off the other dice. In full darkness, all of that is accentuated. These are very fast charging and very bright very quickly. And as I mentioned, this is under normal fluorescent lighting, so not charged up with a black light or anything like that. So, a lot of people feel that glow-in-the-dark dice are kind of a novelty, and I did too, and I think I ordered my very first set of glow-in-the-dark dice from an Impact Miniatures Kickstarter project a few years ago, mostly just to have them. But I discovered, because I do a lot of my online gaming mostly in the dark, that they actually turned out to be useful. and I've gotten an awful lot of use for them over the years. So, D36s, which also function as 2D6, D21s, which function as D21s, and a pretty attractive fudge die. I don't have too many dice for fudge-based games because it's not a system that calls to me. But I do like to have the dice available because it is a pretty handy device to use for different kinds of systems, or when you are just homebrewing something on the fly and that kind of stuff. Using this very simple dice structure can get a lot of the same things done that a lot of more complicated systems try to do. So there we go. Now, it's a dice video, so the last thing that we have to do is roll the dice and see what comes up. So the black ones, is not a good roll. The purple ones, let's see what we got. Cancellation out to blank. Okay, not so hot. And the glow-in-the-dark ones have totally let me down by only being negative. All right, so let's move on to the D36. Now, as is quite predictable with these larger and polished dice, they're going to roll and roll and roll and roll, especially on a glass surface like this. So all that is really telling us is that we need a dice tray, which in these days of online gaming is pretty good for using a dice can. So that's my initial video of receiving these very cool dice from Impact Miniatures. If you're interested in sets that you might want to use for Dungeon Crawl Classics, if you're curious like I was originally with the idea of, odd-sided dice, how do you deal with, a D5, a D7, a D9, a D11, a D13, a D15, a D17, right? You can get them all from Impact. So now they're up to D21, which means you can get straight from them. You can go D3, a strangely shaped D3, or you can go with a D6 marked with Roman numerals. So D3 straight through to D21. And then go up in twos to D30, and then make a jump to D36 in a variety of different colors. And there are Kickstarter programs every so often to push the boundaries further, to fund the creation of the next stage of the dice of unusual sides. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at these unusual dice, and as always, I look forward to having something to share with you again soon. Take care.